As a way to recap and celebrate the hopefully not much longer drought, I wanted to have an update with you all on everything we know so far about Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. It's a lot of words. There will be some speculation within reason, but also there will be facts presented, like this first one, about how next month Final Fantasy VII is getting a ton of news dropping in June. Aside from the new trademark titles and a possible Xbox remake release, fingers crossed, we know we are getting some Ever Crisis information, no doubt, since we are celebrating the 25th year anniversary of the game. What better thing to talk about than the series compilation game, am I right? Not only that, I'm also strongly believing that we're getting an update for Remake Part 2. Whether it's a small teaser or a CGI trailer update, we're getting something at the end of the day. As Kitase had previously mentioned in January, he wants to bring some sort of Remake Part 2 news, due in time for the 25th year anniversary being a thing. So next month is going to be a hot one. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these updates coming in right at you guys. Only 10% of you guys have notifications on, and only 30% of you guys who watch and love these videos are currently subscribed. Let's raise this bar over 50%. I know we can do it. This community has crazy power, so let's push things even further beyond. Now with all that being said, let's get into this video. Back in 2021, Nomura during a live stream said that he wanted to talk about some Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 stuff, as far as giving updates on the game's status and whatnot. But the team would not allow him to and said it was too tedious to get a bunch of people to sign off on with an okay for it. So he didn't bother with it and instead gave us a small update about how Cloud can now be seen walking around huge nature environments, and that Part 2 would have a very different atmosphere from what we saw in the first part of Remake, which is to be expected, due to the party finally leaving Midgar. 1 month after this, Yuffie's DLC Intermission released, and at the end of Intermission, we do get a cutscene of Cloud, Tifa, Barret, Aerith, and Red 13 walking to Calm after leaving Midgar. It's one of my favorite scenes, and it has gotten me so hyped for Part 2. I pretty much watch it every day. But I don't think this scene is specifically what Nomura wanted to show us. This CGI reveal was a big shock for everyone who played Intermission, and remember, it's a CGI reveal, it's not actual gameplay like he was talking about. I highly doubt he wanted to spoil this moment for people who just beat the DLC, since his conversation with Nomura took place just a few weeks before Intermission actually released in June. Unless he himself designs those world-famous Square Enix final trailers, and yeah. But to be honest, with Final Fantasy VII getting its event next month, I can honestly believe we might finally get a first look, and this footage Nomura wanted to show us will be the exact same one that we get to see revealed. Cloud and party roaming around in nature, lots of foliage, and maybe comes across a giant snake or crazy ninja materia stealing girl. When it comes to Final Fantasy VII Remake, a lot of veteran fans have had complaints about the combat system and how they wished it were more turn-based. Before Remake Part 1 came out, Square Enix announced that there would be a classic mode and showed us how it's simulating a turn-based style. While you don't have to control the action-based elements, you do get to control the ATB allocation. However, after we all got to finally play it, it wasn't really an enjoyable mode for many. Square has understood this and said in an interview that one of the main things they'll be looking into improving upon is the classic mode and how it functions, aside from the difficulty, which is pretty cool. I appreciate that because I love variety, and variety is key. While I love both turn-based and action-based combat, I'm happy to hear that they're dedicated to bringing something that many veteran fans could use to enjoy the game more. If they somehow perfect a turn-based experience and adjust battle elements to suit it while having a separate thing for action-based combat, that would absolutely blow my mind. But that is, of course, wishful thinking, so my hopes aren't too high for that. But fingers crossed, you never know. And speaking of combat, the devs are well aware that certain elements of it should receive improvements. And so far with Yuffie's DLC, they showed me that they were correcting a lot of issues almost immediately. For one thing, having no jump button did feel a bit awkward in Remake, and when you do the aerial combat, it's stiff. I don't really like talking about it. But after playing Yuffie's DLC and seeing how much time that she can spend in the air and easily take down enemies, it's a sign that they realize while the combat system is by far one of the best Square Enix has come up with, they still need to continue to expand on it and improve in certain areas, even more so with defensive mechanics. I was honestly sad to see that only Cloud could parry or negate incoming damage and attack back immediately. Well, Barret has steel skin, but that's besides the point. But in Yuffie's DLC, again, they added in a perfect block mechanic, where every time Yuffie timed a block, when an enemy hit them perfectly, she would negate that damage entirely and receive a buff either rewarding shields or temporary haste increases. This is exciting for the future, and I hope every character has access to this type of mechanic. This is how you expand on stuff. When it comes to the conversation of whether Remake Part 2 will be an open world or linear experience, we only have one factor to go off of, and it's coming straight from the director's mouth. We've heard from Hamaguchi himself, who is directing Remake Part 2, and he said that he absolutely loves Horizon's world from Zero Dawn, and how it left a huge impression on him as a game creator. He also said that Final Fantasy VII Remake is expected to evolve further, just like how Horizon Zero Dawn is expected to evolve further with Forbidden West. So Horizon's world is something he has a personal affinity towards, and he was really looking forward to the sequel. The motion capturing portion of development seems to have wrapped up for Remake Part 2 back in early 2021, when we last heard from Aerith's motion capture actress along with Tifa and Cloud's 2. I can't help but feel like since we covered so much of that news when it initially dropped about their posts from Instagram, they may have been told to not post any more updates in regards to it about it. Sorry if we got you guys in trouble. However, recently, Cloud's motion capture actor posted a photo posing with Barrett's motion capture actor and a third mystery man the community is unable to identify. Some are saying this is Zack, but this man is entirely new to the cast and they would not replace Zack's actor since he already had one in the previous game. And even though Zack has done this pose a few times throughout Crisis Core, the body language doesn't seem to be the same for the character in my opinion. I honestly believe it's Sid, as we had discussed before. But more importantly, I don't think this is for Remake Part 2. No. Since motion capture is an early development phase, Part 2 has already been wrapped up for over a year now that we know of. I truly believe that with this photo, we're looking at motion capture progress for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3. This photo was posted in April 2022, just a few weeks ago, and for a bit it was under the radar. So it is exciting to see that they're dedicated to keeping the future parts of Remake rolling for development, so we can see parts released much faster instead of, waiting 5 to 7 years like we did for Part 1. And Remake Part 2 will utilize more of the PlayStation 5's capabilities, from the DualSense functions and the super fast load times to help cut down on bloat for future installments. The rest we are unaware of just yet, but hopefully we get more insight on it soon. And so far, that wraps it up for this video, guys. Those are all the details for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 that we currently know of. Fingers are crossed that the next month brings us more information, as the whole community is sitting here waiting for something, anything at this point. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy VII Remake videos are coming your way and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ and thanks for watching.